So welcome, Ellie. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So obviously, I've brought you here today because you swam competitively and you swam at quite a high level. So I want to start off from the very beginning. So how long have you swum competitively for?
Probably yeah, since the age of 9. So what, like 10 years now.
Oh, okay, okay. And so what stroke did you do while swimming?
All four strokes. So butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, front crawl.
Did you race while doing all four strokes, or was there one in particular that you liked swimming?
I raced all four, but breaststroke was my best stroke.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And what have you won in your career?
So I've won county like level competitions, regional
Okay.
level competitions, and also like national as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you've obviously gone to a very high level at national.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so what would you say is the most rewarding aspect of swimming competitively? Would you say it's just doing well in races, or is it like something deeper?
Um, Definitely like winning races, especially at the big competitions, like
Mm.
stand on the podium, winning your medals and everything. But I think as well, also just what you learn from it as a person, you know, becoming more motivated, more like determined and
Yeah, yeah.
everything.
So obviously, everyone starts off as a child at like the age of 3 doing like the fundamental stages of swimming. So
Yeah,
most kids don't decide not to take it like further. For example, I just
yeah,
got to the highest stage and didn't bother going any further. But
yeah,
what
yeah.
made you take the next step into swimming competitively?
It was never really in my sort of, I don't know, like ambition to go further. I think it was
Yeah,
more, I was just doing swimming lessons like you, and then I think one time someone just came up to me saying, "Have you ever thought of doing it competitively?" And when you're younger, you just sort of just say yeah to anything,
yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah.
I think it just all sort of started now when I was about 8, and then I just joined the club and just started really.
Okay. So, and what club did you swim for?
Redbridge
Oh, okay,
swimming
for
club.
rugby. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So while obviously swimming competitively, what would you
Mm.
say was like your routine for training? Like, what was your daily routine?
My daily routine. Typically it would have been about, so sometimes I'd swim in the morning before school,
Mm.
so that would involve getting up around like 5ish, going training at 5:30 to about 7, and going to school, coming back quickly, like having a meal, and then going back to training in the evening for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So that would be about, I'll do that about like 6 times a week. um and then some days would include like a gym session beforehand, training as well. So yeah, it was quite intense.
Oh yeah. So would you say that doing such long hours and spending so long in the pool was actually
Mm.
very beneficial to?
Um, Beneficial as in, yeah, like fitness wise,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
like successful I was in my competitions and stuff. I guess from that aspect, yeah. But looking back at it now, I'm not doing it as competitively as I used to. So, but I
Yeah.
think it's just experience, like, and it's a good like life lessons that
Yeah.
I've learned on. So yeah.
And what would you say the life lessons are that you did learn actually from swimming?
I think it's really helped with like my education to be quite focused, like goal
Mm.
setting, to be quite motivated, you know, to always look out for things I can always improve on and not just be lazy with stuff.
Okay, yeah. And you mentioned as well how it's not just swimming in a pool, it's also to do with like gym and stuff. So what did
Yeah.
you do, let's say, in the gym to help you for in the pool?
It would sort of vary. You can do it would be a lot of like strength. So, for example, like resistant exercise on like resistant machines in the gym, or weight training, things like deadlifts, squats, chest, like a bench press. Also more dynamic movements, things like jumping, and or increasing your flexibility, like what you would normally do at a gym, but it would be
Mm.
obviously specific exercises towards your swimming.
Yeah, okay. So obviously it sounds like a very physically demanding and tiring like routine.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
how did you manage to balance that routine while also maintaining like a social life, spending time with family, and obviously going to school as well?
Yeah, I think so it's just planning out your day really, knowing that right, these are the times I've training. When have I got free time? Sometimes I'd come straight home from school, I'll eat something, rest for a little bit, and then I'll do an hour or so of work or 2 hours, however, depending when my training was. On
Mm.
the weekends, I would only train on a Saturday morning, so I had the whole weekend to do work.
Oh
I was
yeah,
available Saturday nights to go out with my friends. So it's just really planning your routine out and just knowing when you're available, when you aren't, and just sticking to it really. I guess it just
yeah.
changes.
So obviously there's many physical benefits to swimming, obviously in
Yeah.
terms of fitness. So
Yeah.
what are, would you say, the mental benefits of swimming?
I think it keeps your mind very focused and to be very like motivated, to be very determined. You don't. I think you always try and see the positives in things. Always look at an
Yeah,
outcome. Always look at things you can improve on. It makes you very focused. Sport. It's just the way of thinking of when you do sport. You always need to think like one step ahead, I guess. So I guess that's just how it mentally. I guess that's how it helps you.
yeah. So obviously you was swimming competitively. Was you swimming competitively? Because obviously I know that you're a swimming teacher as well. Like you're a qualified swimming teacher too.
Yeah.
Did you do both at the same time, or was teaching just something you did afterwards?
No, I used to. I'll do like a shift of teaching, and then
Mm.
go straight into my training after that shift.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, I did it at the same time.
And would you say that being able to teach and learning, how like being qualified to teach actually helped out your swimming as well?
Yeah, actually, it did because when you're teaching, you sort of build a structure to your lesson. Things like
Mm.
warming, activity, cool down, and then when you go into your sessions, you sort of think like they're those separate things in your session, and you realize, right, this is my warm up, I need to take it a bit easy, then I have my main set, and then I can cool down. And it makes you realize what is actually like included in your sessions and why it's needed there.
Yeah. And finally, how do you think this is a bit more of a broader question, but how do you think, obviously in recent times with COVID and that, how do you think that's affected swimming at all levels from the bare minimum starting off all the way up to competitively swimming?
Well, I can say from like my experience, I've
Mm.
barely been swimming. Yeah, I think in the
Yeah.
last since September, I've only been about 4 or 5 times. So I think for me, who's someone who actually trains, if I've barely been swimming, the kids who are probably doing their swimming lessons are probably doing even less than that.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot of people are not, their priority right now isn't to do swimming. Like for parents to take their children to lessons, it's probably not a priority right now. Probably other
Mm.
things. So less people probably going into the sport at the moment, and a lot of less people training because there's no competitions to like train for really.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Ellie. Some very insightful answers for the people to listen to, and hopefully it can show people that actually swimming competitively isn't as it's not all doom and gloom and just training
No.
loads. There's actually good things to it as well.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.